So guys, the Type 625E is probably coming to War Thunder. We had last week the community update number 6, and in that post, Gaijin actually released 2 photos of new advanced AA systems that are coming to the game. One of them was the Iris-T, and the other, apparently, it is the Type 625E. So what should you expect from this Chinese AA system that it's highly regarded as one of the best AA systems that the Chinese army has right now, okay? So let's take a look on the vehicle itself. First of all, to start, just to get this out of the way, what is the chassis, how does it work and everything? So this is based off of the Type 08 family of vehicles. So it's pretty much the same as the ZLT-11 chassis, okay? So very low armor. It's based off of an APC, obviously, so very low armor, very high mobility, and wheeled, and a very tall vehicle, okay? This is a very modified version. The chassis itself, it's elongated, so that's why it looks different, but it's the same vehicle pretty much as the ZLT-11 on the chassis itself, okay? It's just a little bit more elongated, a little bit heavier. It should be a little bit slower than the ZLT. Max speed should be around 90 kilometers per hour. And it does have hydropneumatic suspension to help it out do its job, you know. So of course, and obviously it has the AA turret instead of the normal, you know, 105 turret that the ZLT-11 has, or no turret if it would be the APC, right? But it's basically a Chinese APC, very similar to the ZLT-11, but AA. A little bit elongated, a little bit heavier, you know, a little bit slower, but with hydropneumatic suspension. That's the chassis itself for you. Don't expect this thing to take any punches that are stronger than a 50 cal. I think even a 50 cal will penetrate this thing very easily, okay? Of course, we have other systems integrated in the tank. We have a thermal imaging system, a laser rangefinder, a laser warning system, if I'm not mistaken, the smoke grenades, of course, which all will help the tank to survive and do its job, protecting tank battalions, basically, right? But what about the turret? The turret is the cooler part, right? The turret is where everything is, right? So the first thing is that obviously it has a radar, okay? So it will have radars to track and kill targets with its gun and missiles. But what is the guns that we have here? What are the weapons that we have here? So the first thing is that we have a Gatling gun. So this is a Gatling gun that it's very interesting, guys. We have 2 variants out of it, a 25mm and a 30mm, but the main thing is that this gun was based off of the AK-630 series gun of the Russians, right? So it's, of course, a little bit different than Chinese, you know, standardized maybe, but in a general sense, it will be a very similar gun to the series gun that the Russians use in their boats, right, or ships. So it's a very good gun to destroy everything. I mean, drones, ammunitions, depending on the type and speed, of course, missiles, aircraft, in general, helicopters and jets and stuff. So it basically can destroy everything. The max range of this thing is around 2.5 kilometers, and of course, with a maximum altitude of more or less than, you know, 2 kilometers. So of course, it's the short range gun or weapon of this tank, right? These AA system, they're very similar to something like the Tunguska. The objective here is long range, use the missile, short range, use the guns, the Panzer as well, use that system, the ADATs, you know. So yeah, the objective is to use this gun in the short range environments, but having a very good radar and a very good rate of fire. I mean, in the AK-630 we have more than 4,000 or 5,000 rounds per minute of a rate of fire, even in some versions getting up to 10,000. So I would assume that it's a very, very fast firing gun. Of course, it's a Gatling gun. And it will be very, very good to destroy targets that are very close to you. Obviously, even destroying missiles, ammunitions, and stuff like that, right? So it's very good, and it should be one of the main armaments that we have for these, you know, for this tank. The interesting part about this gun is that it doesn't actually have like a time-fused HE shell. It kind of uses a proximity fuse, the HE shell. It's kind of a different way that it actually uses its rounds. So it has API, you know, and HEI and APDS, so we can actually penetrate some tanks and stuff, which is pretty good. But it has also the advanced heat efficiency and destruction ammunition. So basically this is the AHEAD ammunition, which is a type of airburst round that releases a cloud of projectiles, you know, just ahead of the target, basically making sure that aerial targets will be destroyed with hundreds of, you know, pellets of tungsten or something like that, right? So it's a very, very interesting thing, and it's made to destroy, you know, air targets. So it should be very advanced even on the AA, on the gun part of the system, right? But also we have missiles, right? So if you take a look, it actually has missiles. What are those missiles? Well, it actually uses the FB-10A. This missile is pretty advanced, actually. It has a 17-kilometer range, so it's very long range actually for the game. And it is a dual guided, basically. It has a laser proximity fuse and an imaging infrared seeker, right? But it can also be used with the radar and the turret itself and cyclones and everything to actually guide the missile in real life, apparently, right? So apparently it actually has kind of a dual mode guidance system. It can actually fire and forget with the IR guidance, but also it can, you know, lock on after launch with the cyclones and everything, right? So in the radar. So it is a very advanced missile that can actually do both things, making sure that you can destroy targets no matter the aspect of the target and even without a lock, right? That helps because you can both attack 6 targets at once, because you have like technically you have 4 launchers, right? But or 8 launchers, sorry, but you can attack 6 targets at once because of the IR guidance. But also it has the update to command the missile to actually make sure that it's not going for flares, or if you want to change a target or whatever you want to use it for, it can actually guide itself with the normal, you know, guidance system, but also with the IR guidance. Okay, of course you would have a very, very, very modern IR CCM. I don't know how much it would be compared to some of the other ones, you know, so it's complicated. And there is even a version in real life that or a prototype or something like that that can carry even like a manpad instead of the FB10s, right? But I would assume that they would add the FB10 to actually be an advanced AA system, because of course Gaijin is trying to add these gun or these advanced AA systems to the game to actually beat the CAS, right? So I would assume that they will add the most advanced version of this vehicle. And yeah, it's complicated to, you know how good this missile would actually be like, but at the same time it is a very good, it feels like a very good missile, because they say it has an imaging system, IRCCM that is very advanced, dual modes for guidance, so it should be very advanced no matter what. Okay, guys, and basically this is it. So it's a very good system, it's a very fast firing gun, very good missiles, very advanced radar as well. Not a lot of info about it, but it should be an electronic scanner array radar or a similar-ish radar to that. And yeah, it's very, very interesting to see such a system being added. Of course, it will probably be this system that they took a photo of, but we don't know exactly what variant will it be. So we can have many variants, different missiles, different guns, so let's wait and see. But in a general sense, this is the idea of what you should expect from this great AA system. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.